I mean, look, you look at Boris, he's an old Etonian prime minister, pretty privileged background, but he has made it his goal now to put the needs of working people in the north of England front and centre, and he has to deliver on that because he's got this 80-seat majority. He's won seats that he never had before, and he knows that the pressure is on. So he needs someone who's going to be in his own image to deliver that. Now, I don't think Sajid Javid was misaligned with that, but clearly there were other issues going on there, ones of personnel. But this thing about you need to be working class to represent working class people, I don't buy into. I think it's about what you actually represent, what you actually want to achieve, rather than where you come from.
We did clap for carers on Thursday night, and the NHS has got a special place in our hearts. I mean, my own mother was an NHS doctor for 40 years, so I understand the contribution that NHS workers make to all our lives, and they have been the frontline heroes in this crisis. And I do think that there is a bigger question for the Chancellor over the longer term to look at pay. But in the short term, where there is going to be a lot of wage restraint in the private sector, and quite honestly, other public sector workers are not getting any increase at all, I think this needs to be seen in the round. And I think on that basis, we all need to sort of muck in. And it's not fair. It is not fair, but I think it's just the reality that we have to face right now.
Now, let's play a little bit of a translation game here, Ali, if you don't mind. Strong public finances over time with an honest and a fair plan. I mean, if I had subtitles at the moment, I think that they would just read tax rises. What do you think?
I think you're right, Christo, but he's got to find a balance to do it at the right time. I mean, he knows that he's 3 to 4 years out from an election. So if taxes are going to rise, he's going to start doing it now to get the bad news out of the way early. He doesn't want to be leaving that to get boxed in too close to the next general election. You have to remember that Rishi Sunak is an extremely smooth character. He's also very intelligent and rather ambitious. He's got one eye on moving next door at some point in his career. So he wants to get the difficult issues out of the way early.
I mean, this is a story basically about migrants crossing the channel at great personal risk. Now, they've been intercepted by effectively the Coast Guard patrols, and there's a debate going on amongst a charity based in Kent saying that would we have turned away Jesus as a migrant, etc. And it's quite emotive language being used. The point actually here is that you should be trying to keep refugees close to their countries of origin, because they are being displaced. It's extremely dangerous. I mean, this plays into the hands of people who can afford to pay people traffickers, thousands of pounds effectively to come at great personal risk. And we remember in 2015, the migration crisis, when we had the young 3-year-old boy washed up on the shore in Turkey, which was horrific. So the idea is try and invest in refugee camps close to the places of origin. These people are coming largely from Syria, Iran, Iraq, war-torn regions.
Institutions that were once the bedrock of open debate, radical ideas and dissent have become bastions of conformity. Debate is being censored by hypersensitive students on the grounds that what a certain person says is deemed offensive. Progress is made when people are prepared to confront conventional wisdom. But in the cyber world, we are using technology to filter out the opinions of those who we disagree with, enabling us to procure an a la carte menu to suit our tastes.
Universities, you can't have Germaine Greer invited to go and give a speech in some university in Wales because she made some comment about transgender individuals that students got upset about and were going to no-platform her. You have a situation when Peter Tatchell, of all people, is accused of being transgender phobic, if there is such a term, having spent his whole life campaigning for human rights to the extent that he got beaten up by Robert Mugabe's bodyguards and still lives with the scars today. So you can't have an open discussion without being vilified and have an open debate about anything. You want to talk about immigration, you're just branded as racist. You want to talk about concerns you have about cultural identity, you're branded as non-inclusive. This is really a huge issue. The political and media classes in this country have just been talking to themselves. They operate in the echo chamber of politics where they reinforce each other's views.